Okay, let's make wraps, non-bread, gluten-free, pita wraps, whatever. I make mine really thin, so we're gonna start with our psyllium husk, and I'm gonna need a food scale for this, so I need 20 grams of psyllium husk, which is about 4 tablespoons. 19.5, 20, ooh. Honestly, I'm pretty sure like my batteries are dying, so you know. Well, hopefully it's accurate. Okay, psyllium husk done. Now we're just gonna set our scale aside. To our psyllium husk, we're going to add 1.5 cups of warm water. So I put 1.5 cups of water in here in my kettle, and I'm just gonna put it into my bowl with the psyllium husk. Let it absorb. It's gonna turn into a gel-like kind of consistency. So you don't want this water to be boiling, but you want it to be warm. Okay. Now, let's just give it a little mix to make sure everything is going. I don't even know if you need to mix it, to be honest, but we will just mix it to make sure everything is moistened. Okay, now, do you see this? Looks so gross. Okay, anyways, I'll show you after when it's gel. While that's becoming a gel, let us do the next step. So I wouldn't recommend like a heavy glass bowl because your scale will not like it, but it's what we're using today because that's just what we're using. Okay, we're back to tared. Now what I'm going to do is using brown rice flour. Now the original recipe, so this original recipe is actually by the Loopy Whisk, and her recipes are amazing. She's like a chemist, like literally so good. However, she's in the UK and uses a lot of different ingredients and I try to be very simple with my recipes, so I've just kind of messed with it until I figured out how to do this simply and where the end product is amazing. So what we're gonna do is we need 235 grams of our brown rice flour. Now mine is from PC Organics, so I got from No Frills. It is celiac certified on it, and I'm just going to, this bag is only 454 grams, so I'm gonna use more than half of it. So 235. Oh, 229, 232, 34, 235, okay. 235.5. Good enough. We will set you aside. Alrighty, now we need our tapioca starch. So I have tried this with arrowroot starch, and for some reason I feel like it's not as good. I think the tapioca brings a more like stretchy consistency, and I find they work better to wrap and actually like not break apart. So we're going to re-tare our scale. I have a little bit left here. So for our tapioca starch, I'm going to need 130 grams. This bag is like ridiculously huge. Okay. My God. Okay. Okay, it's at 0. 71. Oh gosh, oh gosh. Oh my god. Okay, 114. Now we're gonna dive into our new bag, and I think I'm just gonna use a spoon because, yeah, obviously sleep. This is not gonna be advantageous to pouring. So, a spoon it is, so 130. Okay, so we're at 114 and a half. Of course I chose the smallest spoon ever, but whatever, it's fine. 147. Oh, shoot. I only needed 130, y'all. Okay, I'm just gonna try and scoop some out and put it back in here, and hopefully don't have a bunch of flour, normal flour. Well, 137. Oh my god. 131.5. Okay, you know what? That's gonna be close enough. Maybe I'll try to take a little bit more. I don't want to risk scooping out my flour too, so we're just gonna leave it. We're just gonna leave it at 131. Okay. Let's just do this back up quickly. Ouch. Okay. Goodbye. Now, we can remove this from the scale. And we need some, it says caster sugar, okay, but I'm just gonna use regular granulated cane sugar. So I need a tablespoon. One tablespoon. I honestly don't know why, because like there's no yeast or anything, but, and they're not sweet afterwards, so who knows, but that's what the recipe calls for. And then baking powder. This is one I always use. I know some people ask. I always use it. It is gluten-free. I don't know, it doesn't say gluten-free on it or nothing, but it's good. So I'm gonna need 1.5 teaspoons of baking powder. So I have 1 teaspoon. I'm gonna do 1. Also, you should probably be like measure properly, but you know what? It's fine. Like by scooping off the top. So 1, and then I need 1/2. So I'm just going to literally eyeball. This will just, from my understanding, hopefully it doesn't like change the taste too much, but from my understanding, the baking powder is just going to make it a little bit fluffier, so it's more like a naan or a pita instead of like a flat like a tortilla wrap. So there's 1.5, and then salt. So we need a teaspoon of salt. So I always use the Himalayan pink salt, so it's a little bit coarser and thicker. So you kind of like, in some recipes you want to be a little careful because it can end up being too salty because it's like a thicker crystal, I guess you could say. So I'm gonna do like a scant teaspoon because I don't want these to be like super salty. So I don't know if y'all can see that, but yeah. In we go. Alrighty. Let us give this, oh, I don't have any spatulas right now, so you know what? I'm just gonna use this kind of a spatula, and I'm just gonna mix it because we're going to end up getting in here with our hands anyways and mixing everything, so it's totally fine. You don't have to like whisk it. You can just nicely mix it until it all looks like it's the same. Okay, now what we have there. Ta-da! Okay, let's put this aside. Bring back our, remember our psyllium husk and water that is supposed to be gel. Now look at it. Wow, very gel-like consistency. Perfect, that's what we want. Now we're going to do the rest of the wet ingredients. So we need, you can either use 1/3 of a cup / 75 grams of dairy-free yogurt. I have done this in the past, just using a plain coconut yogurt, whatever. Or, because I don't always have yogurt on hand, usually if I have get yogurt, I will just portion it out into 1/3 cups, because I also have a cookie recipe that uses 1/3 of a cup. So I just freeze 1/3 portions, and then I can just take one out of the freezer and defrost it for cookies or for wraps. Now, if I do not have yogurt on hand, right now I have, oh my god, okay, hold on. I am making a cake in the oven, so just give me 1 second. Let me check on our cake that's in the oven. I am filming a long form video today too, that is a box cake mix made with silicone tofu and some oil, and we're gonna see how that works out with a gluten-free box mix, because I have never done that. So anyways, let me just take it out of the oven and toothpick test it, and then we'll be back. And hopefully this is done baking, but like I don't know. Oh my god. Okay. It is like so dark. Da-da! Okay, let me toothpick test it. And I also don't have anything like to make frosting, so you know, I really planned this one out well. Well, I think it looks good. Yeah, I might even be a little, well, I don't know, you're not gonna be able to see because it's literally, you're not gonna be able to see. So anyways, it looks done, I think, because it's not like wet on the toothpick. It's just like a little, looks like it could be dry, but I think we're gonna call it good. So we'll leave it, we will leave it out of the oven to cool. And then back to our wraps. Okay, so what I was saying was, oh, for the rest of the wet ingredients. Now, you can use the yogurt, or what I've been liking doing is actually using a vegan sour cream and a little bit of soy milk instead of the yogurt, because usually I have sour cream on hand. So let me grab that. The reason that I add a little bit of milk is because the sour cream, if you know this brand Tofutti, the sour cream is a little bit on the thick side, and I want it to mimic the consistency of yogurt, which is not like thick and dry like this. So what I do is, and which it's fine if I go over with the liquid, because as you saw, we went over with the tapioca starch by accident. So bring our scale back. If it'll turn on, okay, there we go. Okay. Also, my milk lid does have chocolate on it from our banana cookies that I made last night with chocolate chips. So, you know, just ignore that. Okay, tear it. And we're going to need 70 grams of sour cream. or about, oh, I always get so weirded out when there's something weird looking in, okay, anyways. Or about 1/3 of a cup. However, like I said, I'm adding some milk to make this a better consistency, so. This one, I really don't want to accidentally put too much because I cannot take it back out of here, really, like I did with the flour kit. 40, how much? Oh yeah, 70. Okay, 70, 52. Oh, this is almost gonna use all of my sour cream. 63. Okay. 69. You know, I might even just use the rest milk because I'm too scared. 69.5, okay, whatever. I'm gonna do the rest milk until we're up to 75 grams. And this is where it gets a little oh, you know what? I'm gonna use the tablespoon that I have here to measure. The tablespoon should be about 15, so we'll just do like a little bit and then just slowly pour it in. 70, oh, 76.5. Okay, you know, 77. I'll just add a little extra just because I had that extra tapioca. So there's 80 grams now, which should be totally fine. I'll make sure to keep my brown rice flour out so that when we're rolling it out, if it does happen to be too sticky, I can just add extra flour, no big deal. Now, let me just, oh no, we're missing one more ingredient. Okay, to our wet, we're going to need 2 tablespoons of oil. I think I normally use olive oil, but I'm just gonna use like regular vegetable oil now for this time. Okay. Now, like usual, so we'll get rid of our food scale here. Get it out of the way. I'm going to, so obviously you probably should use like a bigger bowl because mixing this is going to be atrocious. But we're going to mix this together. You could whisk this together, but it's so sticky that I just find using a spoon works good enough. And because it's warm, it kind of melts the sour cream anyways. But you want to make sure that this is mixed completely, obviously. And not, man, I'm just thinking about my cake and how ugly it looks because I didn't make any frosting and I don't know what to do about it. Like so usually I like to bake frosting with like really good icing sugar. So like wholesome sweeteners, for example, is what I normally use. I like that, the taste of it better. However, I have some like really old, I think it's like Red Path or something icing sugar. Like it's like hard and like, I don't know why I keep it, but like I could make frosting out of it just for the sake of the video to look better so that I don't have to go out and like get some good sugar. I don't know. My other option is to just finish filming the cake like tomorrow and get the ingredients tomorrow and just make frosting. I wasn't anticipating it to be so ugly. Let me look at it again. I don't know, maybe the inside will look good, but anyways. Okay, let's make sure we have everything. I always double check or triple check or whatever. Psyllium husk, water, brown rice flour, tapioca starch, sugar, baking powder, salt, yogurt, oil. Okay, well, yogurt and whatever. Now is going to be the fun part. We're going to, actually, hold on. We're going to mix these together. However, I'm going to also make some Cajun tofu to go in our wraps, and that's going to take about 20 minutes in the oven. So I've already prepared the tofu. So it was frozen, I defrosted it, I just squeezed it out as much liquid as I could with my hands and put it into chunks. Are the wraps freezer friendly? Yes, they are. They freeze actually amazingly well. Okay, so my oven is still on. I've kept it on this whole time. It's only at 325, so I'm gonna bump it up to 430. And just take this glove out of here because it's probably not safe to leave an oven mitt in the handle of the oven. So before we mix these together, because I don't want them to dry out, I'm going to prep our tofu and get it in the oven, because now that the wraps are like made, it's going to take maybe 30 minutes of actually cooking them. So it should time out perfectly where like the tofu should be done by the time the wraps are done as well, and then we can eat. I am literally so hungry. So we have our tofu. We're going to drizzle some oil, about 1 to 2 tablespoons of oil. I don't know if y'all can see, but oh my gosh, my hair is falling out. Okay, that was probably like a tablespoon barely. And toss to coat. You don't want it like too oily. The tofu is already a little bit wet anyways, so it's not like a huge deal. Next, cornstarch, Fleischmann's, and this actually does say gluten-free on it. I don't know if this is reversed for you guys, but I don't know when they started saying that, but they recently changed the like packaging. So about 2 to 3 tablespoons. I always just eyeball it, because you can, sometimes the tofu, so I used firm tofu, and sometimes it's like more moisture in the block, and sometimes it's like a more firm block. So it just kind of depends sometimes how much water you can get out of it, or how long it was frozen. I find the longer you freeze the tofu for, the better when you defrost it, the better the water comes out. Maybe I'm wrong, I don't know. That's just what I think. Who knows, really? So I make this, Clay could tell you, I could eat this every single day in different forms. We've made it with salads, we've made it in wraps, we just tried it, actually I sliced it and then like dredged it and put it in in the rest of these seasonings, like a batter, and he put it on a sandwich, and it's like a chicken sandwich, like a Cajun chicken sandwich, but with tofu. So I think there was another way we were gonna try to use this as well. I just can't remember off the top of my head. But anyways, it's delicious. Like, this is one of my favorite and easiest things, and fast. And I do have the full recipe video on my channel. Okay, I don't know if y'all can see. It's looking like a little bit, like it could use a little bit more cornstarch. I like literally put like a dusted amount. No! Oh, dang it, I dropped one. Okay, Cajun. We need our Cajun seasoning. So this is amazing. It even says gluten-free on the side. It's so good. Like crack in our household. So the one thing I'm missing also is nutritional yeast and a bit of salt. So wow, my hair is like really falling out. Okay, so I'm gonna do like a little sprinkle of salt. you can use other seasonings like that aren't, instead of Cajun, like a Brazilian barbecue, for example, or barbecue chicken, whatever other Clubhouse ones. You just have to make sure if they have salt in the ingredients, either go easy on the seasoning, but also do not put extra salt. I have put salt like that, and then I used one of the other ones that had salt, and it was so salty, like literally so salty. It was not good. Like, it was not good. So anyways, nutritional yeast, about a tablespoon. I just eyeball it. I mean, this stuff's expensive, so I try not to go like too crazy, too wild with it, but up to you. You could probably put 2 tablespoons in there. Also up to how dry your tofu is, because it'll just coat the tofu, no problem. If your tofu's a little wet, you don't want to end up with like so much that it's like all at the bottom, because you know. Okay, now this you just need a lot. Like, there's a reason this container is almost empty already. Okay, so I put a ton, like probably 3 to 4 tablespoons. I'm not lying. It's a lot. And I would just suggest try the recipe, and then you'll figure out the eyeball or the measurement amount of what you like, how seasoned you like it, because you might like a light dusting if you like the taste of tofu, or you might enjoy a lot of seasoning. This is what mine looks like. Delicious. So that's it. That's literally all. And our oven went off, so done. Bring our tray over and now that is going to be on the bottom. That's just going to burn, but if you want, you can just scoop it on here and, you know, do that. I'm just going to wash my hands quickly before and pick up this tofu. Okay, now what I'm also going to do is turn on our pan for our wraps. Once I get this all evenly spread on the pan. You know what else I love? My favorite thing is just making up a batch of this with some smile fries. So freaking good. I'm like addicted to those things. Once I found out that they're gluten free, I just eat them all the time. All the time. They're my favorite fry for sure. Okay, for some reason I feel like this is very crowded on the pan, but you should want to have everything spread out like quite evenly so they all get nice and crispy and don't stay soft and mushy. Okay, good enough. Ta-da! Okay, into the oven, like I said, well, it's at 435 right now. I'm gonna turn it down to 425 once I put these in. Because when I open and close the oven door, my oven loses heat, so I need to make sure we are at the right temperature. Okay, so my pan, I just turned on to level 2, but it's on a double burner. So like instead of just one single one, it has 2. So I put on the double burner, and level 2 is like, in my opinion, it's equivalent to like medium heat. So I want to make sure that it's not, and it's a non-stick pan, by the way. I'm using a rock pan, so I want to make sure that I'm not going to burn my pitas and also not like undercook them. Usually the first one or two are like a little bit on the lighter side. So now back to our wraps, y'all. Okay, so we have our dry ingredients, we have our disgusting looking wet ingredients. Let's add our, oh god, see, now it's like, y'all can't even see. It's like real goopy now that it's been sitting for even longer. So we're just gonna add it in. I'm so sorry if this is loud in your eardrums. Get that away from me. Ah! Okay. Okay. Scoop off the excess from our spoon. And now what I try to do is actually just mix it as much as I can before I have to touch it, because I honestly just like hate touching. Even before I was gluten-free, like making wow, making dough, like bread, anything, I hated that feeling of the like, it's probably the gluten, but anyways, like under your nails, and it just sticks to you and cakes to you. Like if you've ever made like paper mache and it just glues, like turns into glue on your hand, like ugh, I hate it so much. And I have long nails, so I just like, if I could mix this without using my hands at all, I would, but yeah, I can't, because eventually this just gets like, your hands are just so much faster, okay? Like look at it. Like it's just like, oh, there's some of the you know? So anyways, I forgot to change the temperature on the oven. So let me just quickly do that. And once that gets back up to 425, I will start my timer for the tofu. If you overcook it, it does get a little extra crispy, but it's fine. Like I said, again, if it's on the more wet side, you kind of want to leave it for more than 20 minutes anyways. So, I'm gonna have to get my hands in here now. However, okay, what I'm gonna do, let's put this away first. Since I have a glass table, okay, I really want to get one of those mats for rolling stuff out, but like I have a glass table and I Lysol it, and like I don't want to put something on my glass table and it's gonna just absorb the Lysol. Okay, so what I do is, using plastic wrap, I just get a nice strip and put it on the table. Because it's glass, it will just stick right to the table. And now if you had a wood table, I would recommend getting a mat or something too, because wood absorbs stuff, and if you've had flour in your house, you could be potentially just rolling your stuff right into the flour. Because I have a nice big wood cutting board, but I used it solely for like making dough recipes and when I used to eat gluten, and so that is so contaminated, it's not even funny. So I'm going to wash my hands. Actually, you know what? The oven is at 410. It's close enough. I'm gonna put my timer on because I don't want to have to stop. We'll just put it on for like 21 minutes. I don't want to have to stop mid doing this just to touch anything. So let me wash my hands again. You know, that's just the thing in my house, washing your hands. Because, okay, our pan is hot. Oh, see, that's perfect. When you live with gluten eaters, even if I didn't, maybe, like, I get really paranoid about touching things around the house that potentially had been touched by gluten. So, you know, now I kind of did this in a bad way because now my plastic wrap is in the way and I have to be over here instead. Okay, we'll just put you there. We will we'll start by kneading our dough. Gently until everything is combined. It's not super sticky. I want it to be a little sticky because I found when it's too dry, so again, I don't think I said this. I actually don't really put that much flour, and when I'm rolling it out, I don't use too much flour because I found when they're too dry or like they're covered in flour, they actually just like oh my gosh, I lost my train of thought. Oh, they like just end up being floury and kind of doughy tasting and not great. Not great at all. So we're just gonna I'll show you my progress so far. It's kind of coming together. So if you're thinking, oh, there's just too much flour, just keep going. Just keep going, because once you roll that out, you're gonna realize, oh, that was a little sticky. I probably should have just kept mixing it together instead, because that psyllium, you just need to get it moving. However, well, I did add extra liquid. If this does end up looking like too dry, I'm just going to not try to absorb anything else into the dough. So let's just take it out. There's a little bit left on the bottom, but I'm just gonna take it out. Oh, you know what you can do is just squeeze it in your hand, and that will really find the wet spots that are left in your dough. Because I'm telling you, you roll it out and it is, all of a sudden it's sticky when you're rolling it out. That's so annoying. Oh my gosh. Okay, my hand is tired. I usually make these once a week and then pop them in the freezer. Like, we'll eat a couple and pop them in the freezer. And then they are perfect. I just pull them out, throw them in the oven or whatever, or on top of the pan of whatever we're making. As long as there's a little moisture, it's real good. Okay, I'll show y'all again. Hopefully not drop the bowl. And we pretty much got everything out of the bottom and our dough is looking pretty good. So what I'm gonna do is bring it over onto our plastic wrap and try to mold it. Try to make sure there's no little scrap pieces. We want a uniform ball of dough, okay? Because when we roll it out, we don't want little like edges. That we want it to be a nice circle, a smooth edge, if you know what I'm saying. So this is looking much better now. All it takes is a little work sometimes. Put this away, but I forgot to grab my rolling pin, of course. So actually, now this ball makes 8 wraps. So I'm going to cut it up with I'm going to cut it in half first. Okay, very, very poorly cut it in half. You should probably use a knife. And then we're gonna cut it in half, because I usually end up having like a couple that are real small and a couple that are pretty big because I do this very unevenly. Okay, and then we're gonna cut them in half again. So I went in half once, then twice, so I had 4 pieces. Now I'm cutting each piece into half again. Looks like we'll probably have, well, you know what, I'm just gonna steal some from the other pieces that are too big because this is crazy. Like what am I doing? Like literally, what is this? This is why you use a knife to cut things and not a spatula, because it's not gonna end up being the same size. So I'm gonna take some from that one and add it there, and then same thing to these other big chunks. I'm just going to take a little bit off. There's another little small one. Okay, until they're all even-ish. Now I'm going to, so they don't dry out, normally you can cover them, like put them back in here and cover them up, but I don't got time for that. I don't care. So I'm just gonna throw them all back into the bowl, except for, of course, we need to roll some out. So now I'm gonna make sure this is a nice little ball, because that will make sure that it also has a nice uniform edge if we have a nice looking little ball there. So now I need to grab my rolling pin. I have a silicone rolling pin. I used it before, but I trust it because it's silicone and it's not going to be have absorbed any flour or anything from my previous lifestyle of eating gluten. Okay, now, like I said, this recipe is actually a non-recipe. So they're supposed to be thick and not very big, probably like so. So you could totally do this, make them up and actually eat it like a naan bread. However, I like to eat them as a wrap because it's a thicker wrap than a tortilla. And I like it more like a pita where it's just, I don't know why, I just like the thicker, it's like chewier and just delicious in my opinion. So do what you want, make these into naan bread, flatbread, whatever. Make them into a wrap like me. Okay, that's looking good. This is small, so I just pretty much do it as thin as possible. So there is our da-da. I'm gonna go put it in our pan. No oil, just dry. It's nice and hot. Oh, I forgot. I'm gonna need something to put the cooked ones in, obviously. So just when you think you've got everything prepared, oh, I forgot something. Okay, so I just use a glass pie dish, and then this one, a clean tea towel. Okay, this is gonna keep them moist. So I just lay it on here, and then as they cook, toss them in, close it up. And basically, this is just how you do. You just keep going like this. We will watch if it's looking a little bit bubbly, sort of, not really. We'll flip it. And it's about 30 seconds, a minute, whatever, each side. Basically, I find it's about as long as it takes me to roll one out. I actually end up usually having a spare one ready, and I'll just lay it on the bowl. And then I'll just be waiting for them to cook because I don't have anywhere to put my rolled out wraps. And I'm getting so hungry, y'all. It's like 4 o'clock and I've only had breakfast. Having a late lunch today because I'm just doing all this filming, you know, so whatever. We will survive. I know some people are even making dinner at this time instead. Hello. And I'm never an early dinner person. Oh shoot, okay, let's see. Let's see if this is ready. Now obviously I'm using my hands, but you don't have to use your hands. So this is it cooked. Ow! I'll show you when they're cool because they are hot. Okay, they're right out of the pan. They're super hot. You gotta be careful, okay? And I'm not always one to be careful with these. I'm just like, ah, whatever. Whatever. So one down, one in the pan. Our tofu, I don't know how much timer's left. But hopefully we go fast enough. It will just time out perfectly. And I do have a recipe for a honey mustard. Well, I'll make it with maple syrup instead. And it's super easy, super fast, super delicious. Also in my video, my full video. But basically it's just vegan mayo, mustard, Dijon, maple syrup, a little lemon juice. That's it. Easy peasy. Okay, that one looks good. Let's see. Ta-da! See, so now I flipped it, and then what I'll do is I'll just pick up, I'll grab another one from in here. I don't think I need this much more. And then I will just pick it up and then lay it on the bowl like so while I'm waiting for the pan to be free. Okay. And I don't know if like picking it up and then dropping it, flipping it, I don't know if that helps. Like if you make pizza dough, you probably know better than I do. I see people making pizza dough and they're flipping it upside down and rolling it and then redoing, you know, I don't know. Does that make it the perfect circle better? Because clearly mine are not perfect circles. I try. If you know how to make a perfect circle, please let me know. Because I have made these things so many times and I'm telling you, they are not perfect circles. They are not even close. And my hair, again, it's just falling out everywhere and I can't even do anything because my hands are dirty. And I also don't want to accidentally get hair in our wraps because, you know, that would be lovely. These also take some learning to put them in the pan properly because before, when I was first making these, it was horrible. Like, they would just flop in the pan the wrong way and smush up and like literally horrible. So they also were very like this is better. It's not a circle, but it's better. Just, you know what, with practice, anything can be good. You can be good at anything with practice, seriously. Because I've gotten so much better at making these after making them like once a week. So much better. It's crazy. And next up, I want to make, so I have tried making these before. So the Loopy Whisk, this is a Loopy Whisk recipe. She has a recipe for, oh my god, for tortilla wraps as well. And in the past when I made them with corn flour, I think. So it's more like a corn tortilla, and that actually wasn't like what the recipe was supposed to be for. It was supposed to be for like a wheat tortilla. So, well, mimicking a wheat tortilla. So I didn't have the ingredients, or rather, yeah, I don't know. I was just like scared. I was new, okay? I was like, oh my gosh, I don't know. I'm gonna mess this up, or like, let me just try and use corn flour, whatever. So what I did before was using the corn flour and I think a bit of 1-to-1, and the edges were jagged. They weren't like nice. They were a little dry, whatever. But I want to redo it with this type of technique with the brown rice flour tapioca starch combo. And so it's essentially really almost identical ingredients. It's just no baking powder to make it thicker and fluffier, I think. I may be wrong on that. There could be other ingredients. However, it shocked me sometimes. I don't know why, but it shocks me sometimes when I flip them. I don't know if it's because of the winter or because I rolled them with a silicone rolling pin. Honestly, I don't know. But anyways, I want to retry the tortilla recipe because I have just been doing the naan one, but they are on the smaller side. Perfect for me, but for Clay, he's like, oh, it's kind of almost not enough. Like if you were just gonna eat that, it's not enough. You definitely need like a side or something. But for me, I'm like, well, whatever, it's fine. Like it's filling enough for me. The psyllium is also like very filling. So I want to be able to make like tortilla wraps that are actually bigger, that we can make like burritos or whatever, like actually stuff them full, because these ones are on the smaller side. You can't stuff them very full and actually like wrap it properly, because it's supposed to be a naan bread or a pita, whatever. It's not supposed to be a wrap where you fill it full and then roll it like that. So okay, let me check. I thought I was gonna burn that one because I got distracted talking, but anyways, hello everyone. Now we're doing good. Keep adding them into the pile. If they seem, oh yeah, if you cook them a little too long, they will get dry too, so you have to be careful. We don't want them to be dry, okay? But leaving them covered like so, here, maybe I'll just show you because I didn't really show you, but leaving them covered, right, in the pan keeps them nice and moist and also warm. So then by the time, you know, your other food is ready, then you can just have a perfectly timed out meal. And it's just good, you know? Okay. Anyways, what is everyone doing today? Is it nice where you are? It is, like, I don't know. I don't even know if it's, I think it's like +2 outside here. At least it's not snowing. It's kind of like, almost all the snow is melted. So, you know, hopefully spring is coming. It's on its way. You know, the skunks are coming out now. So, you know, that's the sign that spring is coming. The animals are coming out of their, what is it called? Hibernation. And that's your sign. You know, you start seeing little buds on the trees, or them squirrels start to lose their fur and look skinny again. That's how you know. That's how you know. Okay, see now, like they're taking longer to cook than they are to roll. So I have 2 left to roll. I have 1 on the edge of my bowl, and I'm going to put the other one that I just rolled out on the other edge. Whoops. like so. Ta-da! That way I can roll it one more. That one might be close to done. Now, I don't know if it's my pan or me or whatever, or if just my ingredients make it so that you can't, you know, that nice, beautiful, like almost, oh my god. Okay, that's our tofu. Where they get like nice, like almost black spots from them and then puffing up and like, you know, this is not that recipe, okay? I don't know why. Like I said, maybe because they're not thick enough, because I make them nice and thin, that they don't do that. But one day maybe I'll find a recipe, I'll try a recipe that is like that. Okay, first things first, let's get our wrap from the pan because it's probably done. Ow. Ta-da! Put another one in, the oldest one, that will be the most dried out, hopefully. Perfect. Turn the oven off. We'll take a little peek, see inside. Okay, yeah, they're fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Okay, anyways. This one is so tiny, y'all. Literally, it's so small. Like, it's gonna be the smallest wrap ever. But then this one's gonna be bigger for sure. At least if we only ended up having like one little tiny one, it's fine. We don't need more than 2 little ones because I like having a nice full wrap too, you know? Okay. Now I just have to decide, do I want honey mustard or do I want to just do mayo and lettuce and tomatoes and some vegan cheese? I think my nail. I don't know. What do y'all think? Wrap. Hold on. Why is this hair doing this? Wrap, mayo, vegan cheese, Cajun tofu, tomatoes, lettuce, wrap. Pickles? Are we a fan of pickles? Personally, hold on. Someone coming in the house. Hi, babe.
Hello, babe.
Pardon?
Hi, you too.
Oh, Clay says hi. Hi. Now, okay, let me just check on my wrap. I can leave it for another minute. Yeah, pickles, yay or nay, I don't know. I prefer pickles with the breakfast sandwich tofu because it tastes, I don't know why, like it tastes like, okay, you know what I tell people it tastes like? The breakfast sandwich tofu, it tastes like those, I forget what they call it, calabasa, something like that, sausages, those like sausage rings that you would just slice up and like put a cracker and a sausage and a piece of cheese and a pickle. That is what the breakfast sandwich tofu tastes like. So I always just think like the pickles and the cheese, like, so a lot of the time these wraps are used with breakfast sandwich tofu wraps. And just literally even just cheese and pickles and breakfast sandwich tofu is so good, like so good together. I cannot, and mayo, don't forget the mayo, always need mayo. Okay, I think this one's probably done now. I should probably at least open the oven door to make sure these don't like actually get so crispy that they're like inedible, because you know, you don't want to be like breaking your teeth. breaking your teeth on some tofu. Could you imagine? Anyways, everything is all rolled out now. Now I just have, you know, a little mess to clean up and finish filming my chocolate cake. Like I said, I don't know if I should just, you know what I could do is make like a glaze maybe. Like just use some soy milk and icing sugar and just like, and then just like glaze the cake instead of making a full frosting. Like full frosting is like, and for me, the buttercream that I make, it's vegetable shortening, vegan butter, vanilla, icing sugar, and a little bit of soy milk or plant milk, whatever. And then just whip it up. And it is the best. It is the best frosting ever, okay? And so I have everything except for the right icing sugar. So I'm still undecided. The glaze will be so much easier. I can just finish it, can be done with filming. I can just film some book talks tomorrow. You know, I'm gonna finish one of my books today for sure, so we'll finish that and then we can update the book talk community. If you're a book reader, I am a book reader, romantasy, fantasy, all that good stuff. Right now, I'm reading Throne of Glass. And so yeah, that's my TikTok. I don't put it on anything else. Literally, that's just my its own little thing there. But let's check our wrap actually. We're almost done. So now you can start your cleanup, or you can, you know, cut up your veggies or whatever that you're going to be putting on your wrap. You can even start eating the wraps now, you know. But yeah, anyways, we just have a couple more wraps to go and then we're gonna eat our lunch because Clay's home now. So that, I think I'm just gonna wrap up the live now because we're almost done. There's not really much else to do. It's just picking out a wrap. So our final product, you know, can smush it. Ta-da! Anyways, the ones that are closer to the bottom are going to be like way more pliable because they're like moist down here. The ones on the very top are going to be a little bit drier because they just came out. So anyways, thanks so much for watching and tuning in. Hopefully I want to make this a more regular occurrence to just like cook or bake or whatever, chit chat, talk, because clearly I just have like never-ending things to say about what I'm making. So that will be all. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your Tuesday. Hopefully it's nice and beautiful and sunny where you are and not gray and dark and ugly like where I am. Anyways, I'll see you in the next video with this chocolate cake actually, and that will be it.